Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. My name's Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. Today I want to show you how I made, it's a bit of a fun fold card. It's got a bit of a different kind of edge to it. And I'm using the Timeless Arrangements bundle, which I absolutely am in love with and can't stop playing with. I love putting sprigs behind different layers of my cards. And so this Timeless Arrangements is perfect for that. In addition, it has some amazing sentiments that you can mix and match, and I'm all over that. So I'm using, if you've been following me, you may have noticed that Pretty Peacock and Lemon Lime Twist have become one of my absolute favorite color combinations. And so this card today is another one of those. So let me switch over to my desktop and I'll show you. It's just, I just love the color combination. So let me show you. Oh, and I forgot a piece of Pretty Peacock as I go. So here's the Lemon Lime Twist. But let me show you the card we're going to make. So this is the card. I forgot this little piece. I'm going to have to go and grab a piece of Pretty Peacock. So this is, as I say, it's a bit of a fun fold. So it's got the edge has got, it's embossed using the Fern embossing folder, as is this edge. And I'm using the scallop contour dies. But look at all these sprigs. They're just so pretty. So let me quickly go and grab the Pretty Peacock paper that I need. And the ribbon is here. Okay. Okay, so of course I have to remember where the Pretty Peacock fits. So this is Pretty Peacock. We've seen it before. We've had it before as we had Lemon Lime Twist. So Pretty Peacock has been added to the Regals, and Lemon Lime Twist is one of the new, well, it's a returning color. It's a bright, of course. Isn't that a pretty color combination? Okay, so this is the Timeless Arrangements. As I said, great sprigs that you can put, as well as 3 different sizes of label dies. And then there are some sprigs that you can stamp and just some kind of, you know, these leaf sprigs. Just amazing. Love it. I've been playing with it a lot. And then the sentiments are really cool. You can mix and match. I've been using the thank you one, of course, a lot. And then you can stamp some of these. So let me show you how we're going to go. All right, so this piece of cardstock is cut 5.5 by 7.5, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4. So it's just got one little kind of sliver off of one edge of it. So it's got an inch taken off to make it just a little bit smaller. So let's just take, as always, we fold into the mountain or the raised line and use our bone folder. Now we're going to emboss a couple of pieces. I've got a piece of Lemon Lime Twist that is 1 inch by 5 1/4. And then we're going to emboss just this kind of, this right edge of our card front. So I'm just going to take and push this in about an inch. Doesn't, oops, let's get it going the right way. Doesn't matter. That would have been debossed, so I want to emboss it. So it doesn't matter if it's less than an inch, it's okay, but roughly an inch. And at the same time, let's just put that piece in, and we can take this, and if I bring my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine in. Now, the Fern is a 3D embossing folder, so we need just platform number 1 and platform number 4. So we're just going to run this through like that. I like it that I can do both of those pieces at once. So I've got my front of my card base embossed, and then this piece is going to adhere just to this right-hand edge of the inside of my card. So I can take and glue it. I like to use liquid glue when I'm adhering on an embossed piece because it gets into all the little nooks and crannies. There we go. Okay, so there's our card front, mostly. Now, this piece of Pretty Peacock, let me get my can use this. So it needs to be 2 inches by 5 1/4. And I forgot to cut this one, so I'm going to take this and cut it in half. So I have a card base. All right, so now this needs to be 2 inches by 5 1/4. There we go. So that's going to adhere on to this card front right here, but we're going to stamp. Let's add some detail to it because it kind of looks, I thought it looked kind of plain if I didn't do this. So I'm going to take this cute little circle stamp and we're just going to stamp randomly using Pretty Peacock kind of on and off the card. We're adding just some detail to this card front. You're not going to see much of this, but what you can see, you might as well have something pretty on it. Okay, so then this piece can now adhere to our card front. There we go. All right, so that's our card front mostly. So I went ahead and cut this. This is using the second largest of the scallop contour dies. So it's got this nice little row of stitching. So we're going to take this and adhere it to our card front. I'm going to use dimensionals. So I want to just position it and I want to make sure that there's only a little bit, maybe 1/2 inch that you're not going to get. So put some dimensionals on the back, but make sure you leave about a 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch at least on that one side so that you don't stick it down to what will be the inside of the card. So when I position this on, and of course I've got some glue ink on there, perfect opportunity for some embellishment. I've got some Pretty Peacock on my fingers. Okay, so that's how it goes, and it overlaps just slightly this right-hand edge. Okay, so I have gone ahead and cut out one of these great little dies, and it's got stitching and little X's around it, and we are going to stamp "Thank You" in Pretty Peacock in the middle, like that. And then I went ahead and cut out some of the sprigs. Now I'm going to let that Pretty Peacock kind of dry for just a minute because like I always seem to get Pretty Peacock all over my fingers. There's certain colors, and maybe you'll agree, maybe it's just me. There are certain colors that seem to always, I get all over my fingers. Pretty Peacock, Blackberry Bliss, Misty Moonlight. Don't know why, but they always seem to get on my fingers. So you can see, and then I get them on the card, which is never good. Okay, so this piece we're going to adhere. So it's going to cover up my little oopsie with the little splotch, which is always good. If it didn't, I would put an embellishment there. So I'm going to use Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to run a strip of Stampin' Seal on the top and bottom of my label. And then I'm going to take and just attach my sprigs to the top and oopsie to the bottom. And these little strips help you kind of line up the edges of your labels with the strip. And then I'm going to add another strip because I've kind of covered up, and I'm going to put these other sprigs kind of positioned in the middle. And if you need to cut off some, like this one I think is going to overhang a little bit, you can absolutely do that. So I'm just going to cut this little strip off. And then this one, turn it around and position it. So I've got this really pretty label with all of my sprigs attached. And then I'm going to take and use dimensionals to pop them up. And the dimensionals also help to adhere these strips on, the sprig strips onto your label. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to cover up my little splotch Nobody will ever know, except all of you, that I got a little oops. All right, there we go. Now, this ribbon, this is the Ribbon Duo pack. It comes, there are 2 colors in it. There's Petal Pink and Lemon Lime Twist, and I love this little 1/8 inch of the Lemon Lime Twist. I'm going to cut about 2.5 inches or so. So I'm going to treat this as a bit of a sprig, just to add a little bit of texture. Fold it in half, get a glue dot. So fold it in half and then just attach a glue dot to that V where you folded it, because you're kind of creating a V. Like that. And we're going to just take and tuck this. So we're just going to create some sprigs using ribbon, just adding just another kind of texture to our card. There we go. And wherever you want it to go, I'm going to just take it and put it right there. All right, so then the last thing I want to do is I've got these are the foam, not foam, what am I talking about? These are the flat pearls. And I love these because they pick up all sorts of colors. So I'm going to use some of these flat pearls. They come in 2 sizes. So we're going to use 2 of the big ones and 1 of the little ones and use those on the front. I just love them. They were originally part of the By the Bay suite that was in the last mini catalog, and they carried over. Now I have another piece of basic white that I cut 3 inches by 5 1/4 that's going to go on the inside of the card. But let's take and stamp some of those circles down at the bottom. I love those little circles. And we can adhere this. If you want, you could take a whole piece and 4 inches by 5 1/4, but you would need to adhere it first before you put your strip of embossed cardstock, because then you would put your embossed cardstock right over top of that piece. But you don't need to cover it over. So I did it 3 inches by 5 1/4. There we go. That is a very easy fancy fold or fun fold card. I guess fun fold more than fancy fold card using the timeless arrangements and in that really pretty color combination of Pretty Peacock and Lemon Lime Twist. So if you have any questions on my card, just leave a comment underneath the video or leave a comment on my blog, and I will be happy to answer them. You can find my blog by clicking the link underneath this video. And while you're there, subscribe to my newsletter if you're interested in getting all the updates from Stampin' Up! And from me. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're coming in through YouTube and you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great day. Happy stamping. Bye.